In this video, we will thoroughly examine the unboxing and setup of the WINGBITS. If you want to learn more about the WINGBITS project, I'm leaving a video about the project on the top right I button. You can watch that video to get all the details about the project. Since the idea for this project emerged, it has shaken social media and the dApp ecosystem and has made many investments and partnerships. Recently, they also set a rocket into space with SpaceX, and they will ensure the location accuracy of their stations, thanks to the satellite in orbit. They have already put a detailed video of that here. Unlike other projects, this project is coming in very well equipped and on a large scale. Behind the project is the Hifix team. Where do we know Hifix from? Of course, from the geodnet project. The geodnet project and the WINGBITS project launched together as strategic partners. If you're wondering where you can get this station, you can purchase it through TechnoSurX, the Turkish distributor of dApps projects, who has been providing all kinds of support in our group for 3 years. You will see the word advertisement on the screen, but there is no advertisement in this video. I have to put an advertisement label on the screen because the brand name is visible here. When you come here, I will provide the website in the description section. You can already see the details here. When we click buy, it directs us to the product. There are 2 products here. One works only with WINGBITS, and the other is dual, working with both WINGBITS and Giant. So, this project earns both Giant and WINGBITS. The other one only earns WINGBITS. We come here, click add to cart, and continue. Here we see the price excluding VAT. VAT will be added on top of this. The nice thing for us here is that TechnoSurX products offer 3 months of interest-free installments, and if your bank supports it, up to 12 months of installment options. Since the products are subject to the Turkish commercial code, they come with a 2-year warranty. We also have a special discount code for this product for our group. I'm writing that discount code on the screen right now. With this discount code, you can also benefit from a discount on this product. Since TechnoSurX is a company based in Istanbul, you can see all its details here. No additional payments or anything else come up. Now, let's continue with the video. First of all, when the station arrives, it comes in a white Hifix box. We are already familiar with this box from GiantNet, because Hifix produces both Giant stations and WINGBITS stations. So, a slightly larger version of the same box arrives. When we open the box, we are greeted with this kind of box content. Everything we need is available inside the box. The device comes with an adapter, and the accompanying cable is between 10 to 12 meters long. I can't remember exactly right now, but it should be either 12 or 10 meters. The outdoor unit here is completely compatible with external conditions, and the cable socket entries are designed accordingly. So, the device is entirely suitable for installation in an outdoor environment. Our adapter is 12 volts 2 amps. The box contains a 3D by 1090 antenna, and there's also a metal rod for securing it. This is mounted by fitting under the device. Antenna clamps are also included in the box. The device has both Wi-Fi and Ethernet capabilities. For this reason, if the length of the existing cable is not sufficient, an Ethernet extender is included with this adapter. When you connect the Ethernet side to one end, and the Cat6 cable you want to extend to the other end, the Ethernet cable is extended. Because the device's power cable is in the form of a splice. In other words, the power cable functions as both an Ethernet cable and a power cable. There is a connector at the cable's entry into the device. So, at the device's entry point, it actually functions as PO. On the other side of the cable, there are 2 connectors. One of these connectors is for Ethernet, and the other is for the adapter you will connect. This way, you can provide both internet and power through a single cable. If the distance for Ethernet is not sufficient, you can extend it with this apparatus. When we look at the bottom part of the device, the iron mounting rod fits into the middle section here, and you can securely mount it by twisting. On the back of the device, there are 3 sections. The first section we will use here is for the power socket. The other 2 sections will remain empty. As the project progresses and we make improvements, we will be able to use these slots and eventually attach related apparatuses. Here, there are 2 barcode labels on the device. One of them is where I covered with my finger, and the other is on the upper section of this. We will need this information when setting up the device. Therefore, it would be beneficial to record this information. The power and inputs of the device are in this section. The power inputs you see here are different from what we are used to. So why is that? Because this input socket used in industrial and outdoor environments is more efficient than traditional sockets. The thing you need to pay attention to here is the notch you see here. There is also a notch on the cable. There is a notch here as well. You need to align these notches to fit together, because the pins here will fit into the gaps on the cable, establishing the connection. Afterwards, you can tighten the connector on the cable with your hand or with the help of pliers to complete the power connection setup. The connector, cable, and input here are all waterproof. But if you wish, you can wrap tape around the input areas for extra security to the upper antenna input part of the device like this. The stock antenna that comes with it is installed here. Or if you prefer, you can attach an antenna that you acquire yourself here. The device and system use a 1090 antenna. The connector on the device here is TNC and female type. There is a tab you can see here. This is to protect the connector. When you want to attach the antenna, you can remove this, hold it to the side like this, and mount the antenna. This will not obstruct anything. So, there's no need to break it off or pull on it. The tab here can stay next to the antenna, along with the antenna. After mounting, the device will look like this. My recommendation to you is to first mount the device on the roof to power it, because during the installation phase, the device needs to be on the roof. Of course, if your setup is not suitable for installing on the roof, a balcony can also work, but according to the WINGBITS system, a balcony will be quite inefficient. So, I think you should install it in the highest place you can. Sometimes even the roof will be insufficient. First, mount the device in the outdoor environment where you want to install it. After mounting the device, connect the antenna and secure the power cable. Then you can plug the power cable into the outlet. If you are going to use Ethernet, you can also connect it to your modem or router in the same way. Here, it will be more effective to connect the Ethernet cable before powering the device. If you are going to use Wi-Fi, first provide power to the device. I will then show the Wi-Fi settings step by step. So, the first step we need to take here is to mount the device on the roof, ready for use. The installation process will begin after it is mounted on the roof. But if you say that you won't be able to set it up after mounting, then you can also do the setup inside the house. However, you will encounter a few errors. One of these is that the device will give a GPS error because it doesn't see GPS. Another is that the device will give an ADSB error because it doesn't hear any ADSB signals. You can ignore these errors and continue with the setup. The device will also appear offline in the menu, but after installing it on the roof, it will switch to online mode after a while. The most reliable setup here is to first mount the device in its designated outdoor location. Then you will power it with Ethernet, meaning you will connect the Ethernet power cable. If you are using Wi-Fi, make the power connection and proceed to the next step. After making the power connection to the device, you will see changes in the device's lights. Here, there is detailed information about the device lights. You can access this document by scanning the QR code inside the box. If you have connected it with Ethernet and the device is on the roof, you will initially see all 3 lights steadily on. This means the device is getting ready. Later, you will see the PPS and status lights blinking. If the device is not on the roof and you are experiencing a GPS-related issue, the yellow light, which is the status light, will not be on. If you have an internet-related issue, then the green light will not be on. All the details here are already visible. After connecting the device with Ethernet, you will see that the device has obtained an IP when you enter the modem interface. To be able to operate on the device here, you need to be connected to the same internet as the device and access the device's local dashboard. For that, you first enter the modem interface. Typically, modem interfaces are 192.168.1.1. Of course, this can vary from modem to modem. It is located on the back of the modem. When you enter here, you select Network Processors in the menu that opens, and you find the WB200 here. After finding it, you can see the IP address you obtained from the modem here. When you enter this IP address into your internet browser, the dashboard screen of the WB200 or WINGBITS will open for you. So, we open the internet browser. Whether you're using Google, Opera, or any other browser, we enter the IP obtained from the modem instead of a link at the time. In this example, it's 192.168.1.113. When we first enter here, it will ask us for a password. So, this menu won't open directly. This password is the serial number found on the label at the back of the device. But if you say now, there are a lot of numbers on the label. Which one? The one at the top labeled SN/G. You enter the top code here as the password. After that, the device's menu opens. In this menu, if you have just set up the device and it's inside the house, it will say waiting for GPS fix. But if the device is on the roof, you can select the config option here and make the settings. If it asks for power for the ADSB signal, you can say auto or choose 48.0. This option here is entirely the optimal level you can find through trial and error. Generally, users either use auto or 48.0. You can experiment between the two. In this menu, we see information about the device. Here, we have two options called TAR 1090 and GRABS 1090. We will switch to that with the settings we make shortly. So, as we see right now, it's off. We will turn these on. What are these for? These map the signals we see around us. So, we can track where we are seeing signals from in real time. To access the dashboard here, you can see on the screen that a menu like this opens. To access this menu, when you click here, it directs you to a site. However, the IP address on the site it directs you to can be different. Click on the address there. Change the IP address with the one you entered into the device's dashboard and press enter, and you will have accessed that site. From there, you can track your signals. After coming to this menu, we click on Settings to make our adjustments and select Miner. We will come to the Miner Setup tab. When we arrive at the Miner menu, there might be two options you see here and a third one that came with the latest update. We turn all the off/on switches here to on. So we turn them all on and give a name between 12 to 18 words or letters to the place labeled WPKEY. So, this is the name we want to give to the miner. However, we must not forget this name. We give a name that we won't forget here and click Save. We also turn the settings below to on and click Apply. We save it this way. The device restarts. Within 1 or 2 minutes, the device will have restarted. Our settings within the station are complete. Here in this menu is the Wi-Fi menu. If you are not going to use Wi-Fi, do not enter your Wi-Fi information. If you are going to connect the device only via Wi-Fi, let's see how we can do that. If you are going to provide the device's internet through Wi-Fi, by the way, I do not recommend this. If possible, use Ethernet, but if you are going to use Wi-Fi, the first thing you need to do here is to turn on your phone's Wi-Fi and find the Wi-Fi address labeled WB200. For this, you need to be near the device. You connect to the device's Wi-Fi mode. The password it will ask you for here is the device's serial number, which is SN/G. The number located at the top of the device's label. After entering this, you are now connected to the device's Wi-Fi address. Then, open any internet browser on your phone and type 192.168.10.1. The WINGBITS login portal will open in front of you. Here, you again enter the device's serial number, SN/G, as the password. Afterwards, we reach the menu that we connected to with Ethernet earlier. From the same menu, we select Settings and choose Wi-Fi. And here we will configure our Wi-Fi settings. There are very important points we need to pay attention to when setting up the Wi-Fi. So listen carefully to this part. First of all, if you are not going to use Wi-Fi, do not configure the Wi-Fi settings. If you don't have the option of Ethernet and need to set up Wi-Fi, when you get here, you enter the name of the Wi-Fi you will connect to at the address above. It will be better for you if there are no special characters or Turkish characters in the Wi-Fi names. It might work if there are, but it will be more efficient if there aren't. As for the password, there should absolutely be no special characters or Turkish characters. You might encounter an error here. Therefore, absolutely do not include Turkish characters or special characters in the password. Enter the name and password of the Wi-Fi you will connect to here and say Connect Wi-Fi. Do not touch the Wi-Fi app section below. If you say Go to App Mode, you will turn off the Wi-Fi mode and you won't be able to turn it back on without Ethernet. Therefore, you absolutely do not touch the Wi-Fi app mode. The part that concerns you here is the section above. Enter the name of your Wi-Fi above and the password below, then say Connect Wi-Fi. It is not recommended to have special characters in the Wi-Fi name and password, and Turkish characters are not recommended either. In this way, you connect the device to the internet, and you can confirm this from the device lights. I am now putting a video on the screen showing the light status of a properly set up device. It will be like in this video. After doing this, all that's left is to match the device with the name on your WINGBITS account. For that, we go to the WINGBITS website. After entering the WINGBITS site, if we have previously made a reservation, we enter our user information and log in. If we are setting up a device for the first time, we create a new account here. So, if you have made a reservation, you log into the account you created. If you are seeing the project for the first time and creating an account for the first time, you create an account. Then we go to the My Station section. That is the Station section. If we have selected any location here, the devices will appear. If we are selecting a location for the first time, we click on Register New Station at the top. In other words, we create a new station. Afterwards, as you can see here, the stations will appear. Here, you link the relevant station to hivemapper. Here, the location of the device is also written. If you are going to install multiple devices, you can match them according to the address and device. Here, after you arrive, do say link hivemapper. Here, you will match the device you have installed with the account on the site. The 3-word name of your device will be written above. Below, the serial number of the device will be listed. Below this, there is a code. All of these are found on the device. This time, the serial number is not SN/G, but SN/W, meaning it starts with 0, 1, 2, or 3 on the device. You enter the entire number here. It also asks for the code below. This code is also located on the label on the device. After entering these, you click Link Device and save this screen. Now, the device you created in your account is matched with the physical device, and you can track the details of your device through the site. Here, it may take up to an hour for the device to be online and its location to be verified. If the device is on the roof, it will become active within an hour. On the map, it will start to appear after 4 in the morning, because changes on the map usually occur daily. So, it changes after 4 in the morning. Here you can also track the information in real time. After setting up the device and making the link connection, you can enter the local dashboard and see the GPS indicator from there. It will say GPS fix instead of waiting for GPS. So, everything will appear as complete here. In the Tarbin 90 below, it will now be on instead of off. You will be able to see it is on here. You can also track the device's online status from the local dashboard. Finally, I want to touch on the reward system. because many users say they still have questions about the reward system. Here, the optimal setup is always the highest position and places with fewer devices. The fewer devices there are around you, and the higher your device is, the more you earn. How? For example, as you can see, the size of these blue hexes represents the hexes where devices are installed. So, one device can be installed in this hexagon, but the hexagons are quite small. However, the reward hexagons appear as shown when you click on the device. So, the reward hexagons are larger. As you can see in these hexagons, the hex rank is written. So, the device I clicked on is ranked 9th in this hexagon. This means that 8 devices collected more data before this device. Why does a device collect more data? Either its location is better, higher, or the antenna it uses might be better. So in some way, they have collected more aircraft data, better than this particular device. Or our device might be far from here, and since the devices here are closer, logically, the distant device will collect less data, while the nearby device will collect more data. That might be why it happened. The basic principle is the total data collected in the hexagon divided by your data. So the devices that collect the most data within these hexagons will receive more rewards. Those who collect less data will receive fewer rewards. What is important for you here is to collect more data in those hexagons. The more data you collect relative to that hexagon, the greater the reward you will receive. Here, you can see the rewards and data points of the devices. The important thing is the data points, because the more data you collect, the more rewards you will automatically receive. Thank you for listening. I hope the video has been useful for you. I have a Telegram group in the description section. You can join there and ask your questions. We also have antennas that we tried on an extra device. If you want to ask questions about them, you can come to our Telegram group and ask. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video. Take care of yourself. Goodbye. See you soon.